This month is all about the knee joint. So we're going to talk about some common poses that we might need to modify for. And in terms of the knee, it is the most complicated joint in the body. So we want to be mindful of that, be careful. And then when we think about this joint, obviously we know we have all of our ligaments. We have our medial collateral ligament, lateral collateral ligament. We have the meniscus in there, which is kind of like a cushion. The cruciate ligaments, cruciate means to cross, so those are in there. They keep the lower leg from popping forward. And the patellar ligament, which the quads come down and go over the kneecap. So there's a lot going on. It's a hinge joint, but it's a little bit different in that the lower leg rotates. This bone rotates also, but so it's a hinge joint, but it's sort of a modified hinge joint. So when we think about the knee, we want to take into consideration all of the rest of the body, obviously, all the other parts that connect to it that can be impacting the knee. Someone can have a true knee issue, which is more of a bone problem with not so much of a muscular issue. And so we want to make sure that if someone comes in with a knee problem, or maybe you have a knee problem, that you are not making it worse and that you're comfortable, and we know how to modify the pose to accommodate that. So we're going to start with Sukhasana, or easy pose, which I have had to modify for my students before. And so I think, offering a modification or an alternate pose is always a really nice idea. So I have 2 blocks stacked depending on the severity of the knee problem. So I'm going to come onto these blocks and sit down and make sure anything extra is out of the way. I'm going to turn the blocks the correct way, make it a little more comfortable for myself. So here, and make sure that you're not tipping around. Now, I have found the best way is to decrease the bend in the knee. So you could be here, but then you're going to want to support the knee. So we have some blankets, some bolsters. You could use blocks if you have more blocks, you don't have bolsters. And so we've opened up this bend. So typical Sukhasana, right, we're lower and our legs are way bent right here. So we're opening that up. Ankles are still crossed, but if someone is going to sit and meditate in this pose and they have a knee problem, for one, they might just choose a different pose. But to modify it, like this is actually, and I don't typically have a knee problem, this is really comfortable. So also we're taking into consideration, the hip adductors, the abductors, the quads, the hamstrings, the calves, the shin muscles. And so there's a lot to consider there, and everyone's going to vary as to the degree of discomfort, and obviously it's going to depend on what it is. But I find this to be, it's very comfortable, and you can keep a nice long spine. The other thing to remember when modifying poses is we don't want to be a hunchback. We want to make sure that we are able to maintain a long spine. And so, if someone's uncomfortable, I've also had people that will sit on just a bolster, but I think it depends on the day, and you could put, depending on what you have, you could put another blanket or put the blanket underneath the bolster. You just want to make sure that you have a little bit of grip underneath so you can relax and everything's not sliding out from under you.